Hello and welcome. Gary here. What I'd like to do in this video is show you how you can use my drywall plugin and take one of the digitizers that I've built that may not have what you would like it to have in there, and how you can copy and paste another digitizer into it to modify it and customize it for yourself. Let me take one that has studs in it. Let's use the studs track and slotted track. So let's say on this commercial job, I'm going to need a takeoff of a wall that has slotted track and regular track on it. So here you can see I'm not going to show you how to use the parts in the video. I'm just going to show you how to build your own part by copy and pasting from one that I've already built, and show you how fast and easy it is. And you won't have to learn how to use PlanSwift by building your own parts, where my drywall plugin, I've done all the work for you and show you how simple and easy it is. Okay, so I'm going to put this in a test folder. I'm going to go ahead and digitize a wall here. And turn off the verified points. And I'll double click here and I'm done. Now I'm going to go to another digitizer that I've built in the drywall plugin here. And let's say I want to add drywall, labor and material to this metal stud digitizer that I built. So I'll go ahead and digitize this wall for the drywall. Okay, now let's go to our estimating tab and let's look at these two digitizers. Okay, in the test folder, let me drag it up to the top. We can see it better there and work with it. Okay, so here I have both of them. I have the metal studs track and slotted track and labor and material, and here I have drywall, labor and material. What I'd like to do is be able to open the parent of this one and have all these parts in here. So the first thing I would do is go to the advanced button, and under drywall plugin parts, here are all the parts that pertain to the first digitizer that I built for the track and studs. Okay, let's close this and let's open up the parent advanced button for the drywall. Here's all the drywall parts. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to hold my shift key down. I'm going to copy, highlight, and copy all of these parts that are in the drywall plugin for the drywall, labor, material. And then let's go back in here and open the properties window for the studs, advanced button. And I want to click on the last row in the first column of the drywall parts, and I'm going to paste all of these drywall parts into the framing parts. Now, as you can see, they've all dropped in here. Okay, the next thing we want to do is go to the form layout to organize these parts. Let me make this a little bit bigger so we can see all the parts possibly all at one shot. There we are. Now I'm going to copy the word material by Control C, and I'm going to look through all my parts I just dropped in here for material. Slotted track. Okay, drywall material. That's going to be starting down here. I have joint tape. I'm going to paste material there. Joint compound. Drywall screws. Board size. Sides each. Drywall. And drywall height. What I'm doing is I'm going to separate these and put them where they belong. Let's copy labor. Control C, we'll copy labor, finishing labor, okay. Hanging labor, And that looks like all the labor. Now let's, in my drywall plugin, in the labor portion, I like to put the hanging and the finishing labor pricing under the labor as well. So I'm going to put labor here and finishing labor each. I'm going to put labor there, put that in the labor folder, and then the others are going to be pricing. So I'll copy the word pricing, copy, and we're going to put hanging labor or joint tape each in the pricing folder, joint compound each in the pricing folder, drywall screws each in the pricing folder, and drywall each in the pricing folder. Okay, and we'll click off of there. Alright, so now I want to take my labor, finishing labor. Let's start with this one up on the top. And if you look over here, you'll see my general tab. Everything is in the general tab or the labor tab or the material tab. And you see how the labor is the first one? Well, now when I click on this finishing labor, the labor tab, when I arrow it down, it'll move over and the labor will be next and the materials first now, see? So I want to arrow this down, and this takes the longest part of with PlanSwift is to organize these parts. But we're going to push this finishing labor all the way down into the labor folder or labor tab, and we're going to put it underneath the frame, the last one from framing labor. Okay, and then the next labor is finishing labor. We'll move this one down. I just click it 7 or 8 times at a time and just see where it moves to. Okay, so we have finishing labor, then finishing labor each. Okay, so that's good. Now let's go down here and see where other labor is. Here we have hanging labor. Let's move this one up. And I should have hanging labor each somewhere. I don't see that. Here it is, hanging labor each. Let's move this down. Under, well, actually, let's do it like this. Labor, hanging labor each, finishing labor each, and finishing labor. You can put these in any order you want. It really doesn't matter. I like to just keep them in the order we use them. And now we got some material here, joint tape material. So I'm going to move this up to the material. We'll put in the last one under the framing screws, the last metal material. And the joint compound material. Okay, so now we're just going to grab this drywall each and move that up into the pricing, and let's take all this drywall material and put it up here by the other material, and that's it. Now you can take any one of my digitizers, and if there's something in there that you need, you can build your own in just a few minutes. You don't have to learn how to use the whole program like I did and spend thousands of hours building parts. You purchase the PlanSwift program, $950. You keep up with the maintenance, a couple $100 a year, so that Every time I update the drywall plugin, the parts continue to work for you. I'm trying to get PlanSwift to fix this for me, because this is what takes the longest part. Organizing these parts right here in every digitizer that I build, because I can't just highlight it and drag it up and drop it. It doesn't allow me to do that. Now, if you can imagine building a couple thousand parts, the time it would take just to sort the material like this. It's crazy. But I've done everything for you now. It's real simple. You can just copy and paste and build your own digitizers. Alright, now I'll show you one more thing. Because there's so many parts in this window, the window's really big, and when you go to your form, you don't want it to be so big. So the material, see how long everything's down here? If I go to the material and I just click on this box here, every other box, it'll put these parts beside each other and shorten up this window. Go to the labor and go to the labor here and just click the first one and then every other one. And then the pricing the same way. Go down here, click the bottom one, every other one, and that's good enough. Say OK and OK. Alright, now one more thing we need to do. We need to take the children of the drywall and copy these and drop them into the parent of the paste as a sub-item. Do you want to copy the digitizer points? Yes. And now they all dropped in here. So I want to take I have the framing parts here and then the drywall parts. And that's it. Bing, bang, boom. Okay. Now I can delete this one. I don't need that anymore. I want to rename the part here that I just built. And let me add drywall to the name. So I'm going to put and drywall. That way I know I built this new part. It has studs and drywall now. And then one other thing we want to do, we want to check it. We want to open the parent, and on the drywall parts that we just put in here, let's just drop down the windows and make sure that it sees the database. If it sees the database, we did everything right, and everything's going to work perfect. That's it. Go to the labor, hanging labor, finishing labor, and the pricing, of course, don't have any drop-down windows. So there you go. And then what I would do is I would copy up here. I would copy and go to my templates and go to my drywall plugin and expand this folder, expand the folder here to put studs, highlight it, right click and paste as a sub item, and now I've got my slotted track and drywall right in here. That's my new part. And that concludes this video. 14 minutes and you've made your own part.